Okay, hey everybody, this is Grace. And do you want to hear about my really bad reaction to a medication? Or do you want to hear about my really bad reaction to the city doing work on the sidewalk and pavement? How about both? Yeah, since they happen at around the same time. Yeah. They were working on the roads, not the roads, but the sidewalks. Something isn't up to code, I guess, for disabled people at the end of the roads, so they're changing them. And all the houses around here, like ours. And they started that, I think, a month ago, maybe, somewhere around there. And they did that in front of our house, and then Adam got some dirt from them that we're gonna throw away. So he got that, and they're gonna do whatever they do with it, dump it somewhere, I guess. And he got some. Got it twice. We had some guys come out and put it up and all that. I mean, lay it down in the back where he wanted it. Yeah. So all that dust and everything, yeah. Okay, and me with my allergies. Yeah, and it was definitely allergy season. And oh my goodness, one thing after another. I got pneumonia. I wound up in the ER with pneumonia. And what do they say? Suspicion of pneumonia on my x-rays. Yeah, and I had a breathing treatment while there, which didn't do any good. And they also did, I was swollen, and they also did another treatment, and that didn't do any good. So it's like, what's going on here? I mean, it didn't do anything. And so I went home with pneumonia. I didn't stay there. And for like 10 days, I really couldn't do much of anything. And I keep saying but let's see, I think I need in this lane. Anyway, they during that while I was on that new medication for my rare health condition. Finally, I was so happy. I finally got it, and I was taking it, and I took it all together 39 times. That's daily. But at the end of it, no. I wound up going to the doctor again, and we agreed to do it every third day. Did that once. That was it. Because, well, once I did get over my the pneumonia, guess what? The city came back out to do more work. Not on the sidewalks. This time it was across the street from us. Ours doesn't have these, but across the street they have an alley. And they tore up that part and fixed that. And guess what? Once again, I was down for the count. And I'm finally feeling good enough today to get out of my house and go somewhere to get me something to eat. I mean, this is really, like, other than going to the doctors, this is it. For, I don't know, I'd say maybe a month. But yeah, now as far as that medication, really bad reaction, it did the opposite of what it's supposed to do. It actually says that the medication will make things get worse before they get better. Well, they kept getting so bad that I had to tell the doctor, I can't do this anymore. And he was surprised. And it doesn't really say this would be the reaction. But he wasn't really surprised. He said, yeah, let's hold off on it. I did it through the portal. And let's hold off. He had already suggested that. And then I saw him, because I had an appointment that day. And he said, try it every third day. But I only did it that one time. And then the next time when it was up for the third day, I sent him a message on the portal. And we agreed for me to get off of it, because at that point I was gaining 2 pounds per day. Of course, water weight. 2 pounds per day. I've been trying to figure out exactly how much did this put on me. Again, 2023, some weight came on, a bunch of weight. It was 48 pounds, but then they gave me this, got me on Lasix treatment, and that got me down to a certain weight. It wasn't 48 pounds still. I don't even know how much. That's the problem. I mean, I could look it up. I had to keep a log and all that. And but since 2023, and it happened in 2023, and then it wouldn't go away because of the rare health condition. Yeah, and my goodness, I haven't made a video in I don't know how long. So, oh my goodness. But I really was feeling, it wasn't depression or anything like that. It's just not having the energy. And really, seriously, I saw 2 doctors actually, but not having energy because of all this. Look how expensive the gas is, $3.79. Now, like I said, I haven't really been out in a while. But, okay, that car needs to stop over there. Anyway. Okay, where was I? But I saw another doctor in the meanwhile, okay? But right before I texted, like 2 or 3 days before I sent through the portal a message to the other doctor to get me, we agreed for me to get off this medication. But I saw another doctor before that, just a few days. And we were talking about, I better just keep going. We're talking about other medication. This doctor is another one of those, I'm going to run a bunch of tests, and we're going to do a bunch of procedures, and we're going to change all your medications. And I'm so sick and tired of these doctors. And it's always the same field. Seriously. And these other doctors and my regular PCPs, no, not that same field. But it's just, we're going to do a lot of extensive tests. We're going to change all your medications. How about asking me? How about discussing with me? Okay, it's not doctor-centered. It's patient-centered care. No, it's all about them and how much money they can make. And we're going to make sure you have this big old procedure done, thousands of dollars. And if you won't, we'll make sure that you do. This bullshit. Oops, excuse me. Oh man, I am so sick of it. I had that all last year. I don't even remember the year before. It was so dramatic. I had drama and trauma together. But oh my. And anyway, so I had gotten on one medication because this other doctor had said the same thing. Not the one that's like the rest of them in that one field. The one that put me on my rare health condition medication. And I was actually, there was a choice of which ones, and I had told him which one I was going to take because it's been around a lot longer. Okay? And I don't like to be a lab rat, Some people call it guinea pig, some call it lab rat. Taking medications that are new. But this one was from 2014 or something like that, or 2012, somewhere. And I thought, that would be plenty of time. Wrong. The reaction, 2 pounds a day. Man, it was doing great for one thing. I mean, seriously. I'm surprised they don't market it just for that. And, but the weight, I mean, I'm huge. I'm just, and it didn't decide to spread out all over the place. Oh, no, that would be nicer than what it is. Okay, ordered me something here. I don't even know how do you pronounce this, Polo Regio or Polo Regio. Anyway, we like it. But, so what was I talking about? I mean, I know what I was talking about, but where was I in it all? But like I said, today I'm feeling much better. Finally, I mean, this has been since, I'd say almost a month. of this. And but oh, and by the way, I was telling the doctor, you know, that the one doctor, I don't want to say what fields they're in, but I told him, you know, through the portal, I was getting 2 pounds a day. I mentioned that. And it was freaking me out because before that, it was, you know, I'd taken 39 pills, you know, total. But when I was at 38, I had figured it out to be like a ½ pound a day. And that's water weight. Okay, and like I said, it didn't, water weight's not going to spread all out. Nope, nope, nope. So I look, oh. But since I quit taking it, which I don't know how many days it's been. Let me see, maybe 10 days. Yeah, it's been about 1 pound a day that's coming off of water weight. 1 pound per day. I'm happy. I hope it continues to get all of this weight off that's come on since 2023. Because there is another medication now. That other medication, there was a doctor last year trying to get me to take it. And I took it one time. It was like a little over a year ago. And I said, I don't want it. And it turns out that might be actually a good medication for me. So I tried it again, and I'll keep it. And this, you know, that doctor, and then this doctor, and then the other doctor I saw, all of them want me on that one. But some other ones, what is this with these doctors wanting to, you know, they want you to go get medication at some specialty drugstore. Okay, and it's not that it's a specialty drug. Those, you know, you get through ones that are well known. Okay, you can get them through well known, like I said. But this is ones that I'm like, why do I have to go to someone that's not like, you know, other well known ones? You know, here it would be, you've got Costco, you have Walmart, you have those big places like that. Grocery stores have pharmacies, some of them. And you've got CVS and Walgreens. I know up north it's something else. It's not Walgreens, is it? Okay, can you move, beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep. And I don't like to sit in front of that thing. Anyway, but no, it's some, I'm like, I don't know, what is this kind of pharmacy? What are you doing? Backing up and going forward, okay? But that was nice for a moment there. Then they started backing up and scaring me. So, look at that gas over there. $4.29. Oh my. Huh. But, and watch them hit them. Now they're going to back up on you. See? See how it feels? It doesn't feel that great, does it? Come on, you can go. Anyway, you get to see all this traffic. This traffic, what am I talking about? Anyway, so this is what I've been through. And I have not felt like, making videos. And I had a whole bunch in April. Still have a few. Just didn't feel that have the energy to put them up. But instead, I started playing a game on my cell phone. Serious. What is it called? Royal Kingdom. And then there's Piggy Kingdom or something. I don't know. And I'm playing those. Let me see. Okay, so I'm starting to wonder, am I not being nice, my usual self? I don't know what it is, but every time I go there, where did you come from? Did you see it? Oh, that was my fault. They come from the street on the other side. And all of a sudden they were there. Whoa, it's my fault. Still saying it's my fault. Anyway, but every time I go there, they give me, I say I want flour tortillas. They give me corn every single time. And they will repeat what I say. They will repeat. I say, I want flour. And she repeated it. Flour. And they give me corn. And she did that too. And I said, she goes, oh, you wanted flour then? I said, that's what I said. I'm like, okay, this is not me. Maybe I'm not over all of this. I am breathing a little difficult, but I'm getting used to using a rescue inhaler, you know. Yeah, and but there's more problem. Here's some weird crap, and depending on which doctor it is, you know what they say to it. But I cannot stand up in the shower. It's weird. I can't go upstairs because of this, and because that congestive heart failure last year. No, I'm not going upstairs. So we have 2 bathtubs upstairs, but downstairs we have one. It's a garden bathtub, but we need a pipe change, and I can't have construction in the house. Okay, we also need to put a new carpet in. I can't have that because pneumonia, the first thing. And that's what would probably happen. So we have a shower. Well, I can't stand up in the shower because it's like I'm having a panic attack. And I'm not having a panic attack, but it's causing me to feel like I am. I start breathing. I'm in there to just a few seconds, barely, started taking a shower, and I will start hyperventilating. And it's not, it's not me having a panic attack. And I've read up on it, and I've talked to the doctors. One of the doctors, the newest doctor, the one that's just like all the rest. Oh, we can run more tests and do procedures and all that. Ugh. I'd rather not deal with them. Seriously. But his nurse said, "Oh yes, that's part of it. That's part of it." They seem like a bunch of cons. It's a con game. I don't trust them. I don't trust any of them in that field after what I dealt with last year. 3 of them. Okay, well 4 actually, because the hospital, in the ER, and that was ER, so that they're not in private practice, but the ones that are, they just too much about money. They come in and they bombard, man. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to do this test, and this procedure, and that procedure. Oh, and we're going to have them call you, and we're going to have them, we're going to change the medication, and we'll have it. No. And I'm sitting there going, what the crap, It was the 4th one. 4. And in their own practices, I don't even know if you call them private practices anymore because they work for the insurance companies or however it is. They're in partnerships or whatever. That's pretty common here. And I don't like that. So this last one I got was not one of those, but he's just as bad. He does a lot of work for them. So I'm disgusted. Disgusted with it. I really am. You don't just bombard somebody. Money, let's get it fast. And we're going to run all new tests, all new procedures. Like it's all in my life, it doesn't matter. They want their money, they want it fast. They want it now. Oh, man. But anyway, I did, his nurse was saying that it was part of this, and there's the sign, and no, I think it's something more so simple, like, I had pneumonia, and now I go to the shower, and there's so much, if there's any steam, all of a sudden I can't breathe. I turned it down to practically lukewarm. It's still not cool enough. And today, they're acting like, oh, it's never going to get better. It's always going to be this way. So we need to do these procedures. Today, it wasn't so bad because I'm feeling better. But don't tell them that. No. Well, then we're going to have to find some other procedures to do to figure out why that happened that way. Do I sound like I'm just very cynical, that they're all about money and not about the patient? Yeah. I never was a fool to all this, so. I mean, there are some good doctors, yeah. I'm sure I've heard of them. I just have bad luck, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. One of the other doctor, I like him. And my PCPs, I have two. So I switched from one of them because I didn't like his nurse. Yeah, she was rude. I have it to where it has to go through. I decided I want everything through the portal. She won't do it. Yeah, because you have to put stuff in writing. Because I asked, I mentioned this before, for one test, how many appointments will I need? I was being very sarcastic. And she said she didn't think it's appropriate to do it through a portal to answer that question. So I fired her. Fired him too. The process. Bye. No. If you can't, it is something that the answer is one. Seriously. One. One is all we would need. One is something very common. One. No, they like to make sure they get more than one. Some are that are like that. They want to get more than one out of appointment, out of something that needs one. Period. Full stop. One. So I went back to another one I had seen before, and she did one. Okay. Such a racket. Isn't that what they used to call them? But other than that, because I've been stuck home, like I said, I started playing a game on my cell phone, or those two games. They're very similar. It's kind of weird. One of them seems like they're the exact, almost practically, sort of the same, game. And one of them seems like it's. I'll let you decide it for yourself if you decide to do those. But also, I've been, I used to not like watching TV when I was younger until 2020, really. Or maybe a little bit before then. I was getting more used to watching through those, whatever they call it now. Let's see, it was apps, then it was live streaming, then what is it? Or is it not live streaming, it's what do they call it? Okay, anyway. Whatever it is, streaming. I just think they just call it streaming. And so I started watching, because I've been at home and I haven't been really able to do much at all. And so I watched a bunch of those, and I watched some really good ones. I wish I was the type to do reviews. I'm going to try. I know I'm not the type to do them, but but I found some good ones, and seriously, and right now I'm watching one that, to me, it's funny that I'm watching it, but it kept coming up, and I didn't have anything else. I was finished with what I had been watching, so it's called Veronica Mars. It kept coming up on Netflix, so I'm gonna give it a try. It's okay. I mean, it's teenage stuff, and that's not my thing. But at the same time, it's a little. I like to see how they do figure these things out, what to do and stuff. So, but anyway, I'll do some reviews. I'm just not a review person, and watch the post. Watch them run out in front of me. There's one behind me, one beside me. There's a cop over there. There's... My goodness, scary. Anyway, I guess that's enough for now. You know, I'm just glad I can actually get out. I didn't even feel good enough to go out to the front yard and get in my car and my SUV and do it like I usually do. I didn't even feel comfortable enough. I stayed inside the house. Luckily, 2020 was good practice for me. And I know right now I'm not sure that I want to go anywhere where I'd have to walk, because I mean, in my house I have to walk, you know, and it's just been a lot on me, because of all these. Okay, hopefully you're not going to push up in front of me. That car was abandoned, it looked like. It's a bad place to be abandoned. But it's been a lot. And with this extra weight, oh my goodness. Oh, it was close to, or was 70 pounds since 2023. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Oh, and I should say, look at that over there. Yeah, that's a big crow. I should say the latest doctor, I can't stop here. The latest doctor, he's, I thought he was going to be a good one, but he, I hope he didn't mess up stuff for me by calling my other doctor, because he asked me, he said, why aren't they operating on my rare health condition? And Adam was with me. We kind of looked at one another, and I said, well, and then I started to say it. He goes, I'll talk to the doctor. And it was such a jerk, man. And it kind of worried me, because my other doctor, he's one of those really friendly guys, you know. I thought he was younger than what he is. He's actually, I think, 50. And he looks so much younger. He's got that look, you know, where they look so young. They, as in people who look so young. But, you know, I didn't want to make sure that's what I meant. You know, make sure I said what I meant. That he just looks young. Some people look so young. I was one of them that looked so young until I was turned 50, later 50s, 59. All of a sudden I started looking my age. Before that, people say, you no way you're that age. You know? Yeah, it was. But anyway, you know, I really like him. And he's friendly, and he has to be. I think they have started doing this thing where they give these doctors only 10 minutes. Seriously. Or 10 or 15. And that's just crazy. Because, like, you have questions. And I think what they have to do is that at the end of the day, they have to answer a lot of portal messages. Like this new doctor's nurse, she said, send anything through the portal, because if you don't, we probably won't ever hear about it and ever receive it. And it's because they hire these MAs that go to school 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks. And they're hiring them to do all these different jobs that they're not trained to do. You know, MA is, you know, CMA or CNA. Or there's CNAs and then there's medical assistants, MAs. And they hire them, but they're having them do all this, you know, work that they used to hire people to do separately. That's not going to work. Stop being so cheap. You know what I'm saying? And then that's what they're finding out, is that they are not getting their messages. You know, there goes the crow. Huge crow. You know, we have 3 of them. They always in threes. So, at least. But anyway, I'm wrapping this up.